Sustainability is a very important topic in ag. We need the environment to grow food and feed our world, so we need to protect it. And when it comes to sustainable farming, women in ag are making a real impact in moving our industry forward. There are so many opportunities that take advantage of modern technology, from genetics to carbon sequestration to nutrient management. It's an exciting time for operations large and small. And beyond technology, improving sustainability can be as simple as finding ways to better connect producers with their local communities. On behalf of RBC, we're so proud to support women leading the way in agriculture.
It is important. So when we think about on the farm, it's important because soil is a resource. It's an investment. And you and I and farmers, we all want to protect our investment for current and future generations. Many in our agriculture think of the soil as a nutrient bank. It holds on to the nutrients. So my research is aimed at protecting that investment in nutrients and the soil resource. Innovative farmers in Ontario and across the world, they're working hard on keeping nutrients and soils on the farm and out of the water. You asked about why is it important? It's not just about water. It's also important because soil is the basis of our food system. Efforts that enhance soil health have the potential to enhance our food system.
The prior work in nutrient management and really balancing nitrogen and phosphorus budgets, it did feel like, as I mentioned, just having those conversations with farmers, that felt like it was making changes. And I do know that farmers made changes to their management practices or even the way that they thought about it. And I think some of the tools that we were able to share, even if they weren't developed by us, but just that other universities have developed and that I can look at and recommend as being a good resource to some of the farmers. And so that was definitely, that felt like there was on the ground change from that project.
You know, there's pros and cons to everything when you look at climate change and when you look at agriculture. You know, there's definitely areas that maybe could be improved. Some are going to be harder than others to make changes, but I think we need to be willing to look at opportunities. But then there's the side, like look at carbon sequestration, where a lot of farmers are already doing their part on that front, and it's just kind of starting to come to light that is happening. So I think it's important that you know the general public is aware and government is aware of the role that farmers play in environmental sustainability that they've already been doing for years, and it just hasn't really been, you know, kind of on the front lines. So it's yeah, I mean, we need the environment to do what we do as farmers and in agriculture. So it's definitely in our favor to do what we can to protect that and ensure sustainability on that front.
There's really kind of two big pieces to that and how it's being shaped, and one of them really is that as a society we need to be I think spending more money to be supporting farmers in climate change work, and even within that there's kind of two pieces. And then the second part of it is that we already are starting to see changes. We're starting to see people or farmers making management decisions based on environmental considerations.
A large passion of mine is certainly at the grassroots level. So at the local, people becoming more self-sufficient or more self-sustaining. And I think there's been a big change with that mindset here in the last year with the challenges that have been brought forth with the pandemic and the need for more local connections. More people are focused on growing their own foods, purchasing from local vendors, seeking out those connections in their own communities to help sustain themselves, their neighbors, their friends, their family, and a little bit less reliant on large chains and corporations.
There's been a lot of advances in the last few years. You know, when you look at technology in the industry, in any industry for that matter, but technology for sure. You know, crop crop genetics, animal genetics, environmental stewardship. People are being more aware of that. People are being more conscious of it. Sometimes people don't want to change. Farmers don't like change necessarily all the time. So sometimes, recognizing that some of those newer practices are better, and you do kind of have to pay attention to those and be cognizant of that and incorporate better practices sometimes into your operation. So having that literal gap between the farm and the consumer, which again I think is getting better, but there's always opportunity to improve that and be transparent and engage the consumer with what's going on at the farm level.
New Brunswick just released their agricultural sustainability report, and the biggest gaps are in, surprisingly enough, some of the things that we consider ourselves to be to have a lot of. So, for example, apples, beef. There's a lot of gaps within the Maritime provinces, even as far as what we produce for the people who live here. So, one of the gaps I think is certainly the availability of product and the availability of support for those who make those products.